Grammar. The word itself sounds painful for many. And for those of us who are luckily blessed with like good grammar, we get the feeling, oh, apunich Bhagwan hai. We can conquer the world with our grammar. Then there are some people who are grammar Nazis, right? I'm on the border. I won't say that I'm exactly a grammar Nazi, but yes, I kind of, since I'm an educator, I tend to kind of be a little critical about it. Oh, that is a little wrong. This is a little wrong. Fine. But at the end of the day, what matters is your ability to communicate yourself clearly to the other person with a fairly decent amount of correct grammar. So I'm not saying that we can just get away with absolutely wrong grammar. So long you are charming, so long you can put up a pretty smile on your face, you can get away with any kind of English, or the other person feels he's speaking English. No, it's not that. You definitely need a decent amount of grammar to go with your message that you're trying to convey. So today what are we doing? We are taking up 10 grammatical errors found across all OMETs. See, for those of you who are kind of thinking of doing grammar in a very short way, you need to go and check my Super 100 course from October 2020. So in that particular course, I had compiled 100 super grammar points that you come across very commonly in OMETs, be it CAT, NMAT, SNAP, or the other exams. As for now, I'm just taking 10 grammatical errors, and on what basis am I taking these? Well, I have come across these errors in many exams. OMETs, that's other management entrance tests. Okay, so guys, having said that, let's move on with the 10 points, and I'm sure this particular session is going to enrich you like nothing else. All right, guys. Okay, first the quick round of announcements. CAT Iconic one-on-one live mentorship program, and you have to use my referral code Shabana Live. This subscription enables you to get in touch directly with the educator. These are experts, the alumni from IIM Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, and Bengaluru. Some ongoing batches with our experts, so you can enroll in any of these if these suit your requirement. And then of course we have got CAT Combat. CAT Combat kya hai? It's a weekly test done every Sunday at noon. You can take part in it, and there are prizes worth 55 lakhs in it. Okay, so let's come straight to the topic now. Grammar is important. Have you ever realized what difference punctuation can make? I mean, since I'm trying to highlight the importance of grammar, I may as well tell you the importance of punctuation. Just imagine the first statement on the slide. Let's eat grandma. Wo bichari boodhi dadi, the person who has been living in our house for like many years, suddenly becomes something that needs to be devoured. Wow, she's going to freak. She's going to just run away. And the second sentence, let's eat, comma, grandma. That means you're calling out to your granny, hey dadi, aa jao khana khate hain saath milke. It makes a world of difference. एक जगह पे दादी को खाया जा रहा था, एक जगह पे दादी के साथ खाना खा रहे हैं. So this is of course one of the commonest grammar sentences, the commonest grammar jokes that you will find on the internet, and this happens to be one of my favorites. Coming to first point, let's take a look at this one. I feel sad for Ravi as he is lesser educated than his friends. Now, the moment I read lesser, it reminds me of Arundhati Roy's book, The God of Lesser Things. The God of Lesser Things, right? Yeah, I think that was what it was. See, lesser word means like somebody who's not blessed, somebody who's a little underprivileged, somebody who is slightly poor. All right. So if you say as he is lesser educated than his friends, it's going to be wrong. You need the comparative form of little, less, least. So you have to check from here. I'm giving you 30 seconds. Check and pick the right one. I'm sure you guys got it by now, because I had already explained the less and lesser wala difference, right? So yes, the answer is indeed B, less educated. Why? As I said, लेस इज कंपैरेटिव डिग्री, यहाँ पे बोल रहा है इज लेसर एजुकेटेड दैन हिज फ्रेंड्स, फ्रेंड्स ऑलरेडी कम एजुकेटेड हैं, एंड रवि क्या है, रवि उनसे भी कम एजुकेटेड है. So bhai, we need a comparative degree, and less is the comparative degree. There is nothing called lesser when we talk about comparison. Lesser, as I said, means underprivileged. Fine. So here the answer is B, less educated. I'll take you forward to this particular explanation. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Much, more, most. Little, less, least. These are 4 exceptions to the comparative degree wala rule. ठीक है, as we know in English we always have exceptions to every rule. English तो ऐसा लगता है is a language of exceptions, right? So I have given you these 4 over here. You need to remember these because these pop up in your OMETs. Okay, moving on to point number 2. Take a look at this. You solve it first and then I'll discuss. After the accident, she took almost an year to recover from her illness. Now this is one bloomer that I have seen many and many people making, because this happens to be a chota sa point, so we all tend to overlook it. Okay, I'm sure you guys are like kind of a little bit confused between A, B and no improvement. भाई आप ये सोच रहे होंगे कि भाई इम्प्रूवमेंट करना ही क्यों है, ऑलमोस्ट एन ईयर, जब हमको 1 साल का ही बताना है तो ऑलमोस्ट ही रहने दो. व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑलमोस्ट एंड नियरली, ऑलमोस्ट ही रखेंगे हम, सो नो इम्प्रूवमेंट रखते हैं. द थिंग ओवर हियर इज ईयर, YEAR टेक्स द आर्टिकल अ बिफोर इट. अब जनरली देखिए हम आर्टिकल्स में हमने क्या पढ़ा है, we have come across this particular rule that it depends on the vowel sounds. So ear, EAR or YEAR, that has a vowel sound to it, right? E. So based on that particular rule, we should have an ear. That sounds very normal, but then again, as I said, English is a language of exceptions. So if we talk about this ear, I only have one ear or I have an ear. Thankfully I have both. जैसे ही मैंने सेंटेंस बोला आपने चेक करना शुरू किया. No, that was just an example, guys. So I have an ear. This is when we are talking about this ear. आप an लगाएंगे. But then when we are talking about YEAR, we always use a year. So it's been a year. Hey, we are meeting after a long time. It's been a year. So the answer over here is definitely A. After the accident, she took almost a year to recover from her illness. All right, guys, I hope this is clear. I'm taking you forward to point number 3. I'm so used to teach my students every day that if I miss a class, I feel quite unhappy. That sounds like me. That is my statement after the weekend. Whenever I meet my students once again, this is what I say. So I'm so used to teach. All right, take a look at the options and try coming up with the answer. Quite used to teach, so used to teaching, used to teach, no improvement. I'll wait for you. Okay, the answer over here is B, so used to teaching. I'll tell you the reason. See, there is this phrase used to, which has 2 meanings. Okay, the first used to means my habit when I was young or like long back. Okay, when I used to live in England, when I used to do that, when I was a little girl, I used to go to the park. So an old habit which you're trying to remember now, there we use this particular phrase used to. उसका used to नहीं होता, USETO नहीं होता है. I have heard many people make that mistake. I used to, USE. No, there is only one phrase talking about a past habit, and that is used to, USEDTO. That is point number 1. That's the first used to. उसमें कोई change नहीं आना है. ठीक है? There is a second used to, which means I'm accustomed to. मुझे आदत है. Okay? So when I say I'm used to seeing you every day, I'm used to meeting these people every day, I'm used to doing this work, I'm used to sitting here in this room, it can be anything which is a present habit. All right, something that I'm accustomed to in the present situation. That is called used to number 2. And this used to always takes ing form of the verb after it. So you always say, hey, don't worry, I'm used to sitting here and looking at the stars. When I was a little girl, I used to go to the terrace and look up at the stars from there. Even now, I'm used to sitting here and looking at the stars. Got it, guys? So let me give you this chota sa explanation over here. What does it say? I'm used to meeting you daily. Okay? Then besides used to, there are other similar phrases which always take ing form of the verb along with them. Like, I look forward to hearing from you. Even if you make it I am looking forward to, doesn't matter whether it's I look forward to or I am looking forward to, it will always be hearing from you. Many a time I have come across students who get confused. Why? Because they feel if they say I am looking forward to, either looking to ho gaya, to hear from you. This is what they do. And they feel I look forward to, maybe okay, hearing from you. You getting my point? So this is the goof up that students do. No, it has nothing to do with look forward to or looking forward to. वो same रहेगा. मतलब वो कोई भी हो सकता है, either. The verb after that has to be in V4, that is ing form. So I look forward to hearing from you. Hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you again. I'm looking forward to listening to this music. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Clear? Third one, I'm accustomed to doing this. So used to जो पहला वाला है, as I said, उसका cousin है accustomed to. That means a present habit. Same thing happens over here. And the last one, humans are prone to making mistakes. So these phrases very often pop up in your OMETs. So please keep an eye and your ear open for these phrases. All right? Fine. Point number 4. He is a miser person who doesn't know what it is to be kindly. All right. Now this is a problem with noun and adjective. बचपन से हम ये पढ़ते आए हैं ना एक fact that when we talk about adverbs, they always have to be in ly form, right? So when I say he spoke terribly, he wept bitterly, she spoke sadly, they came here slowly, they reached here late, or कुछ भी इस तरह का ly वाले words, all right? So what I'm trying to say is there are certain words which can have ly, but they need not always be adverbs. The first example, the first and the most frequent example is miserly. So miserly, when I say miserly, it's not an adverb. It is an adjective. Getting it? So if I say he is a miser person, wrong. He is a miserly person. Hey, you are miserly. She is miserly. That is adjective. You are a miser. You are going to put a or an with nouns. So you are a miser. She is a miser. I don't want to go talk to your aunt because she is a miser. Uncle Scrooge was a miserly person. He was a miserly businessman or person or whatever. Got it? So here the goof up is he is a miserly person instead of miser who doesn't know what it is to be. Of course, you got it by now. Kind. So the answer over here is definitely B. Miserly and C. Miserly and kind. Got it, guys? I hope it's clear. Take a look over here at the simple explanation that I have given. Miser is noun. He is a miser. I'm not a miser. Then miserly is adjective. He's a miserly person. I'm not a miserly person. His miserly attitude irritates me. What type of attitude? Miserly. So that becomes adjective over there. I hope it's clear as crystal. Okay. Next, point number 5. He has gone to whom? So you should also go to your home. Now, as it's no use waiting for him. वो चला गया, तुम भी चले जाओ, हम सब चले जाएंगे. कहानी खत्म. Now, the problem is home is one of those words which do not take to before them. So I'll give you like 15 seconds, check for the answer, and then I'll explain. Okay. Now, in case you are confused between A and B, let me tell you this. In A, it's simply home. Your nahi laga hua hai, his nahi laga hai. So you cannot take two with that. Let me explain it to you this way. Or maybe you can remember it this way. Home, okay, go and home. Nothing comes in between. Getting it? So you should go home. Fine. But if you say you should go your home, so home to chala gaya dur. You have come up with your over here. So you should go to your home. Let him go to his home. He needs to go to her home. Getting it? So go and home ke beech wala to not allowed. But then if you are putting over there your or his or her, you can easily put to over there. So over here, what's your answer? It's A. Okay? He has gone home. You should also go to your home. Don't put to before these words. This is a keep. You need to just kind of remember this. Fine. Don't put to before these words. Home, somewhere, anywhere, here, there, abroad, upstairs, downstairs. Got it, guys? So I need to go home. Hey, I have seen you somewhere. You need to go somewhere. Let's go anywhere. Please come here. Please go there. We need to go abroad. He has decided to go abroad. Hey, please go upstairs and fetch my suitcase. I need to go downstairs and have my breakfast. Understood, guys? Clear. Point number 6. So what is this? Yesterday I said to my mom, every day we are hearing news of coronavirus and the havoc that it is wreaking all over the world. We need to be careful. Hearing that, she immediately bought a dozen masks. Just check the options. Try to see if you need any improvement and then I'll explain. All right. I'm sure this is a little confusing. Now, the concept over here says that if we talk about the primary purpose of our 5 senses. 5 senses kya hai? Eyes, we see with our eyes, not look, not watch. वो बाद में आते हैं words. ठीक है? The primary thing is see. We see with our eyes, we hear with our ears. Listen is another word. Okay? Listen हटा दीजिए. So we see with our eyes, we hear with our ears, we smell with our nose, we taste with our tongue, and we touch with our, we feel with our skin. So these are the 5 senses. Now the rule says that if we are talking about these 5 primary purposes, these 5 primary words related to our senses, we cannot use ing form of those words if it is in subject, verb, object form. That means over here, take a look at the first highlighted portion. Every day we are hearing news of coronavirus. We is the subject, coronavirus is the object. That format is there. In between hearing is the verb. So when we have subject, verb and object ka format, we don't use ing form of that particular word. So there we are definitely going to use HEAR. Alright, so from among the options, we can safely say that A is out and D is out. We are left with B and C. Now, if we come to the second portion, hearing that, she immediately bought a dozen masks. So you can say hearing that or you can say on hearing that. Both are correct. Okay? But over here, we definitely need hearing that because on hearing that wala ka correct option nahi hai. So the correct answer over here is C. Hear news and hearing that. Now you must be thinking one thing. Okay, ye ma'am kya bol rahi hai? She just explained it to us. She said that okay, we cannot use ing form of this verb, HEAR. But guys, I also said this, that only if the sentence is in this format, subject, verb and object. Got it? So that's why in the second sentence, hearing that or on hearing that, you can use the ing form of that verb because that doesn't come in that subject, verb, object wala format. In this case, hearing starts your sentence. All right, guys, like let me give you another example. SEE. I cannot say I am seeing you, I know what you are doing. No, I see what you are doing. I can see you. All right. Otherwise, if I want to start my sentence with SEEING, I can. Seeing his displeasure or seeing his inconvenience, I decided to go and ask him. Seeing his inconvenience, I decided to help him. Right? So this is what the concept says. I hope it's clear. No V4 form of these verbs if the sentence is in subject verb object structure, and I have given the words over there which follow this particular concept. Hear, smell, taste, see, feel, all the 5 senses. If you are talking about listen, you can use ing, like I'm listening to the radio. Hey ma'am, what are you doing? I'm listening to the radio. Okay, let's say a connoisseur of food, Sanjeev Kapoor, comes to judge a competition. Hey, what are you doing right now? Wait, I'm just tasting this. He can say that because he is doing that particular function over there. That's his work. But you know, if it's a normal thing, like let's say, let me give an example of taste. This food is tasting good. Wrong. This food tastes good. Oh wow, this dosa tastes awesome. You cannot say this dosa is tasting awesome. So the difference over here is if a connoisseur or if anybody is acting as a judge and tasting the food, he can say I'm tasting food. But then if you're talking about something that tastes good, it has to be in that form, not ing. Got it, guys? Then the other words over there are understand, love, like, hate, and live. I have been living in this place for the last 12 years. No, I have lived in this place for the last 12 years. All right, we move on to the 7th point. The police have done whatever basic they could to avert the danger. Please check the options and come up with the right answer. Okay, so the answer over here is no improvement. Why? Because police is always taken as plural. This is a noun point. What happens is there are certain words in the police wala category. I'll just give you some common words. Police, gentry, menfolk, poultry. All right. So these words, cattle, these words are always taken as plural, and the most common one is the police. If you're talking about one policeman, the policeman has, the policemen have. So it depends on whether you have used man or men, right? But if you don't use man or men, you simply use the word police. The police are coming now. The police have been informed. The police are doing their best. In this case, if we eliminate, option A gets eliminated. Has done, kuch bhi nahi hota hai, right? Because I mean over here it's not singular. The police have done. Then we have did. No, definitely not, because have takes the third form of the verb. Third one, are doing. Yes, that is plural. But then the police are doing whatever best they can to avert the danger, not they could, right? So that's why we are left with no improvement. Point number 8. I do my chores in the night because there is nobody around to disturb me. That again sounds like me. I try to finish a lot of my classes ka work. At what time? Okay, that is the question. So you need to first check it, and after that I'll explain. In the night, that is the original thing. Then we have options at night, at the night, in night, no improvement. Okay, now here the answer is A, at night. I'll tell you why. Because we are talking about a habit. We are talking about regularity. We are talking about something that the person does day after day or night after night. So when we talk about such regularity, we generally use these phrases: in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. We do this at night. We all sleep at night. Means that's a regular thing. Okay. And I have given you a chota sa example. In the morning, in the afternoon, that same point. And then there is something called late in the night. So when do we use in the night? Only when there's the meaning of late. Somebody has come very late. Somebody has come home late. So, oh, last night he came home very late. He came late in the night and invoked the wrath of his father. That is what it is. Point number 9. Rarely Patricia goes to work on Sundays. Oh, sounds like me again. Because I choose not to work on Sundays. भाई हफ्ते में एक दिन तो होना चाहिए ना हमारे छुट्टी का दिन. अब रोज ही काम करेंगे तो फिर कैसे होगा, right? Anyway, so rarely Patricia goes to work on Sundays. Now you have to check from among the options. Rarely does Patricia goes. Rarely does Patricia go. Rarely do. No improvement. 10 seconds. Okay, so the answer over here is B. Rarely does Patricia go. Why? The first point is Patricia goes. That is perfect. Patricia goes, Sam goes, he goes, she goes, it goes. We know that, right? Now, if you start a sentence with a negative word such as rarely, barely, hardly, I'm giving you just the most common words. So if you use any of these words in the beginning of the sentence, as in this case, so rarely Patricia goes, no. If you use rarely, you need to put do or does over there based on whether it's Patricia or the boys or the girls or the family or whatever. So Patricia is a she, right? So we use does with that particular word. So rarely does Patricia, and then since we have put s in does, we cannot put goes over there. So it has to be does go. Rarely do I go. Rarely does Roshan do this work. Rarely does Preetham wake up in the morning. So if you are putting does next to rarely, you will put go or do or whatever. Both the verbs cannot have s in them. And I hope you'll remember this point, guys, that rarely, barely, hardly. If you start your sentence with any of these three words, you need to put do or does next to that. So the answer over here definitely is B. Rarely does Patricia go to work on Sundays. You can change the format of the sentence over here. You can simply say Patricia rarely goes to work on Sundays. That will be equally good. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Check the explanation over here. Patricia rarely goes to work. That's fine. Rarely does Patricia go to work. That's fine. Okay. I hardly lie. Converted, hardly do I lie. And the last point. Each student is prepared for the exam and they each has a reserved seat. Now, since childhood we have read this thing. Each is always taken as singular. Yes, each is taken as singular indeed. But what happens is before each, if we put a plural noun or pronoun. So in this case, there is they over there. So if we put like, the boys each, or if we put they each, so then the verb, the succeeding verb, the one that is placed after that becomes plural. All right. So let's take a look at this particular question. Each student is, that is perfect, going by the rule, prepared for the exam and they each, the answer in this case will be A, and they each have a reserved seat. The boys each are coming today. The boys each have a pen. The boys each have a car. All right. So I hope you remember this point that each is, yes, taken as singular, but then if you put a plural noun or a pronoun before that each, it takes on a plural verb after that. Got it, guys? Okay, so that brings me to the end of this session, and I sincerely hope these 10 points are going to enrich your grammar. So the next time you encounter any of these points in your OMETs, be it SAT or NMAT or IFT, you will definitely remember me, and I'm sure you'll remember the concept also, and you will be fast enough to mark the answer correctly. Right? He texted me, "You are adorable." I replied, "No, you are adorable." Now this is exactly what happened with Tharoor. He texted me and then I said, no, you are adorable, and now imagine, he thinks that I'm totally after him. He thinks I like him, right? So this is what happens when you are kind of a little careless with your punctuation. Thank you, guys. I hope to see you again. I look forward to seeing you in my next session. Thank you. Bye-bye.